One thing my grandpa would say that has really stuck within me through my life is anything you can touch, you can catch. When I was a little kid, my grandpa and I would play catch in his backyard. I would struggle to clutch the large football in my tiny arms. He would shrug his broad shoulders and say, "If you can touch it, you can catch it." As a kid, I only thought about it through the eyes of an athlete. If I missed a ground ball or bobbled a pass, I thought about that phrase. It got me psyched and ready to get the next one. But now that I look back on it, I found that it has an alternate meaning as well. My grandpa's belief has lived within me now, and now I know the true meaning of it. What Grandpa was really saying was about being touched by an experience. Catch everything you can, they all are worth something. Considering this belief as a metaphor for catching an experience reminds me of the time I went backpacking in Yosemite with a few of my closest friends and their fathers. We piled into 2 cars and took a grueling 5-hour drive to Yosemite to start a treacherous backpacking trip. When we arrived, we got in our packs and started along the trail. Sharing this experience with my closest friends and their fathers was one of the best times I've had in my life. We would walk, pick imaginary baseball teams, and kick rocks to pass the time. We climbed up rocks, boulders, and dirt paths next to rivers and lakes. We would sit next to fires and burn the end of sticks so we could draw cave paintings on the side of boulders. We would spend endless hours searching for the perfect walking stick that we insisted would come home with us, just to sit in our garage, never to be touched again. Our favorite form of entertainment was fishing. Me and my friends would grab our poles and sit next to the river, watch our lines drag down the current with little to no luck. When it would start to get late, we would set up camp on the side of the trail, fix dinner, and watch the sun go down. Spending time with my friends and my dad, away from home, siblings, and moms, made me realize how lucky I was. I caught this moment and cherished it then and now. My favorite memory from that trip is the day we took a 7-hour hike up to Mount Leal, the highest point in Yosemite. Mount Leal stands at 13,114 feet of elevation. This day was especially tough. We had to climb up and over Mount Leal to get to our next camping spot. On this day, we met our new German hiker who had just started in Canada and was making his way to Mexico on the Pacific Crest Trail. He joined us for a bit on his way, but he was in way better shape than us and powered ahead. He inspired us to move faster and faster. As we approached the peak, one of the dads would say, "We're almost there, just push a little harder," to motivate us, while another one would say, "Don't listen to him, he doesn't know how to read a map. We have quite a ways further," so we wouldn't be surprised when we finally reached it. I never had a good sense of time. As we approached the peak, one of the dads would say, "We're almost there, just push a little harder," to motivate us, while another one would say, "Don't listen to him, he doesn't know how to read a map. We have quite a ways further," so we would be surprised when we finally reached the top. I never had a good sense of where we were or where we were going, but of course, it did not matter. We were getting closer and closer while getting increasingly tired, which led to more water breaks and more resting. A bad idea. Every time we stopped, it was harder and harder to get back up and keep going, but there wasn't any turning back. When we reached the top, we dropped our packs and let out a huge sigh of relief. We stretched out and admired the view of the Tuolumne Meadows. This was the highest I had ever been, and it was quite an accomplishment for me. The view painted the prettiest picture of the luscious green Tuolumne Meadows, the clear Merced River rushing over rocks and an endless amount of trees. Giant granite rocks covered and stood tall on each side of the valley, looking down and protecting the woods. At the top, we met our German friend again, and he congratulated us on making it up there with him. He quickly left to trek down the mountain, as he had a long way to go. After a long and much-needed break, we started down the mountain, full of energy and hyped up on adrenaline. Our pace quickened and quickened, and we just kept going faster and faster. My friend then started running down the mountain with his pack projecting his body forward and forward, and his legs would speed up like Speedy Gonzales. He was bent parallel to the ground to keep himself from toppling over and flipping down the mountain. This is one of the greatest memories I have to this day, and will always remember the joy I had at the top of the mountain, sharing this great memory with my closest friends. These are the times my grandfather was referring to. Experiences when I caught the ball and scored the touchdown instead of dropping the pass and missing the score. I allowed myself to be touched by an experience in nature and caught the meaning of friendship. I will always remember standing at the top of the mountain and looking over the beautiful Tuolumne Meadows, stretching out to touch and embrace this moment in time. If you can touch it, you can catch it. This, I believe.